Call the meeting to order.
Jenkins?
Here.
Hardin? Hahn?
Here.
Tesori?
Here.
Kelly?
Here.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First thing that we have on this evening's agenda is the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Call it.
Jenkins?
Yes.
Hahn?
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes.
Tesori?
Yes.
Motion carries.
There being no unfinished business, we move to section 3, new business.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2016-11, approving and authorizing the execution of an agreement with the Illinois Fraternal Order of Police Labor Council.
I'll second it.
Discussion.
Yeah, I don't think this is a big deal for the city. From what I've read of it, I think it needs to go back to negotiations.
Well, you were our representative, so you and Mac were the representatives, so if you feel that way, then.
Yeah, we had very little input on the deal, and I didn't know how this was progressing until it was handed to me, and I'm not happy with the way it progressed.
Mac's not here today. And I think I'll have to mirror your thoughts. You were the ones who represented us. I would entertain a motion to table this resolution.
I'll second it.
You're making the motion.
I'm sorry?
Now, if we table it, does it go back to negotiation, or
you
does it
have
just
to.
sit?
You have to second it first before we discuss.
I'll second that.
Discussion.
If we table it, does it go back to negotiation, or does it just sit in our hands till... I mean, you're wanting it to go back to
Joe,
negotiation, so...
if we table this right now and go back to negotiations,
Or does it need to be voted down?
If it's tabled, we can send it back to negotiations.
Okay.
we have till April 30th.
I don't know off the top of my head, I think that's when it expired.
Any other discussion? Calling on whether or not this should be tabled.
Kelly?
Yes.
Tesori?
Yes.
Jenkins?
Yes.
Hahn?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2016-12, approving and authorizing the funding for the DeWitt County Development Council.
I'll second it.
Discussion.
Gentlemen, at the last meeting, you know that there was a presentation by DCDC, their representatives, Rustoffer and Kirk were here. We did prepare to you that resolution 2016-12. There is finances in the budget should you decide to show support of them financially.
That's in this year's budget or next
The
year?
one that we're closing out.
In the 2015 budget.
Yes, sir.
I would like to definitely show some support. I would like to amend it to 5,000 now. Would be my recommendation. Since it is in the budget. If it wasn't in the budget, I was gonna know at this time until the new budget, but since we have it, but that would be what I would like to amend it to.
Other thoughts?
I think we have seen a lot of DCDC in our talks And so I do think they're worthy of at least the 5,000.
I agree. That's fair.
I don't have any objections, so, we need to amend that. So we need a motion to amend the resolution.
I'll make a motion to amend the resolution to 5,000.
I need a second.
I'll second it.
Call it, you're voting on the amendment?
Testori,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Han,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
motion carried.
Any discussion on the amended resolution 2016-12? We're going to go ahead and call roll call on resolution 2016-12 on the 5,000. So what you just voted on is whether or not to amend it. Now you're voting on the actual resolution itself. Go ahead and call it.
Han,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Testori,
Yes.
Jenkins.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Make a motion to go into executive session to discuss purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body, 5 ILCS 120/25.
Second it.
Call it.
Jenkins.
Yes.
Han,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Testori,
Yes.
motion carried.
We are now in executive session. Now in open session, and we move to section 4, other items, the city manager's report. I turned it off. Sir?
Couple of these things we've already gone over, the DCDC funding, the FOP agreement, and our executive session. Bring up to speed on one thing that Joe is helping us with, and that's an amendment to the liquor code, which will actually allow the bars to participate in the beer tent. There's been some discussion, and the committee believes that they need to be named in anything that we do. And Joe has been working diligently to come up with a better solution than to have them named. You see too that there was a request in your packets for the museum. They would like something on the next agenda if possible to see if they could get some kind of funding. And also a draft copy of the budget was in your packets as well. Obviously, it is just a draft. You'll see that it is a balanced budget, but we're going to have to set up a meeting so we can go over those.
Unless there's any objection, can you put the full requested amount on the next agenda for the Historical Society, and then we can discuss it at that time and then vote for it. Also, I would just extend an olive branch to the Historical Society if they could come and maybe speak to it as well next week, or in 2 weeks.
Just one question on that. Should that be part of the next budget? I mean, do we have?
Then this would come out of, no, it wouldn't come out of hotel, would it?
No, I don't believe so.
I believe so. Museum.
It would come out of,
Because they bring it.
okay.
Oh, okay.
So if we could have them here at the, what would that be, the 18th? And you spoke of a budget meeting. Is there any opposition to the 16th at 8 a.m. other than we don't know what the meeting is?
We don't know what the what is.
What's a track meet?
Yeah, the Illinois Collegiate Rowing, you know.
I would say 8 a.m. the 16th. So what I make a request to the city council is that they begin going over this budget in great detail. I'd also suggest writing out your questions and maybe even getting those questions to the city manager to the meeting. That way, maybe he can answer some of the questions there, and he can, or at least maybe have the answers ready for you when you come. Because a lot of times when we have a question, they have to look up information. So the more questions we get in their hand before the meeting, the better the meeting can just move forward. So that'll be
Will Ruth be here for
16th.
that?
Huh?
Will Ruth be here for that, since she helped, I assume she
Can
was
we?
in part of the budget, so
That would be nice.
beneficial to have her here.
Very good. So any question to the city manager and his report? Any non-agenda items and other business?
I actually don't have any today.
We have one public comment this evening. Tina Harrison, you have the floor.
Oh, thanks.
Yes, ma'am.
I just have a question about sidewalks in town. I do daycare, and on the good days, we walk to school. And there don't seem to be very many sidewalks on the way to the school.
Yes.
And my kids range from 2 to 8. So, a lot of times we gotta walk close to the street, and if anybody's been around the school in the mornings or after school, it's crazy. Well, it's kind of dangerous. So I was just wondering, who takes care of that? Can the city get some sidewalks in? If the sidewalks are covered, can you clean them off? Or they have, a safe place to walk?
That's a good question and some good points. Currently, the way that the sidewalks, we have a system in place that kind of puts the burden of paying for sidewalks on 3 different groups. The city would pay a third, the homeowner pays a third, and then the Clark Foundation actually covers a third as well. So if a sidewalk is going to be in place in this community, the homeowner has to take the initiative on that.
So that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much
It's
it.
not gonna happen.
Yeah, I guess the answer is we don't have the money to
Okay.
put those sidewalks in there. But I know exactly what you mean.
Well, I know there's a lot of old sidewalks that some are brick.
That some are covered over or anything
Is
like
there
that.
anything the city can do about that? Maybe, bring in a little, whatever those little dozer things are and clean
Little
them off.
backhoe and stuff like that? That's a good question, something I've never really even considered. Generally, as a rule, the homeowner would take care of that. And there's nothing in our ordinances that states that they have to keep those cleaned off or what have you. And a lot of sidewalks, that's what's happened. They've just grown over and it's just nothing but dirt on the brick and stuff. Are you walking to and from on John Street, I'm assuming?
Well, we go down Dodge
Okay,
to John,
okay.
and there's not very many there.
Well, I can at
But I
least...
noticed a lot of the side streets don't have them.
Yeah, I can at least state from my personal opinion, I know exactly what you mean. I think sidewalks would be absolutely wonderful. Cost is a major issue, absolutely. So,
Okay.
appreciate you. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thanks.
Yes. There being no further public comments, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Call it?
Jenkins?
Yes.
Hahn?
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes.
Westler?
Yes.
Motion carries.